Aging gracefully. Finding your path forward. I've been thinking about this topic a lot lately. My aunt just turned 75 and she's more vibrant than some people half her age. It got me wondering what aging gracefully actually means in today's world. The phrase, aging gracefully, gets tossed around quite a bit, doesn't it? It's one of those terms that sounds nice but can mean different things to different people. For some, it conjures images of silver-haired models in linen clothing, laughing on beaches. For others, maybe it's about acceptance, just coming to terms with the changes that time inevitably brings. I think the truth lies somewhere in the middle, though it's not always easy to find. Embracing change, even when it's hard. Bodies change. That's just reality. The knees that once hiked mountains might protest at a flight of stairs. The eyes that read fine print without a second thought now search for reading glasses constantly. It's frustrating, sometimes even frightening. But here's something worth considering. Resistance to these changes often causes more suffering than the changes themselves. Fighting against reality takes energy better spent elsewhere. This doesn't mean giving up. Far from it. It means adapting, finding new approaches. Maybe you can't run like you used to, but have you tried swimming? It's gentler on the joints but still gives you that wonderful feeling of movement and freedom. Perhaps reading physical books has become challenging, but audiobooks open up whole new worlds of literature to explore. Adaptation isn't surrender. It's intelligence in action. Health matters, but not how you might think. Let's be honest, maintaining health becomes both more important and more complicated as we age. There's no shortage of advice out there, some helpful, some, well, less so. The basics remain true: movement matters, nutrition matters, sleep matters. But what I've noticed is that the approach to these fundamentals often needs to shift. The punishing workouts of youth probably won't serve you now. The restrictive diets might do more harm than good. Instead, sustainability becomes the key. Can you maintain this habit over time? Does it bring some measure of joy or satisfaction? Is it flexible enough to accommodate the inevitable ups and downs of life? Perfect consistency isn't the goal. Was it ever realistic, even in our younger years? Rather, it's about establishing patterns that nourish rather than deplete. I've found that walking daily, just simple walking, has benefits that extend far beyond the physical. There's something about that rhythm, the connection with the outside world, the gentle movement that seems to settle both body and mind. It doesn't need to be fast or far. Consistency matters more than intensity. Relationships evolve too. One aspect of aging that doesn't get enough attention is how relationships change over time. Friends move away or pass on. Family dynamics shift. The social circles that once seemed so stable begin to transform. This can be one of the more painful aspects of aging, I think. The loss of connection hits differently when you're older. Yet there's opportunity here too. New relationships can form at any age, though they might develop differently than they did in youth. They might center around different interests or values. They might move at a different pace. And existing relationships can deepen in remarkable ways. There's something about the perspective of years that can add richness to connections, if we allow it to happen. Technology helps, of course. Video calls with grandchildren, messaging apps to stay in touch with busy adult children, online communities centered around shared interests. These aren't perfect substitutes for in-person connection, but they're valuable tools nonetheless. Mental flexibility. The hidden superpower. I've noticed that the people who seem to age most contentedly share one particular trait: mental flexibility. They maintain curiosity. They're willing to question their own long-held beliefs. They adapt to changing social norms without constantly lamenting the way things used to be. This doesn't mean abandoning all principles or wisdom gained through experience. Not at all. But it does mean recognizing that the world continues to evolve, and there might be value in that evolution that isn't immediately apparent. Learning new things becomes more important, not less, as we age. The brain, like any other part of the body, responds to use. New challenges, whether learning a language, picking up an instrument, or exploring a different philosophical perspective, create neural pathways that keep thinking fresh and engaged. My neighbor started taking piano lessons at 80. She's not becoming a concert pianist, but the joy she gets from mastering simple pieces is beautiful to witness. It keeps me humble, she told me once. And being a beginner at something makes all the other challenges more manageable somehow. Finding purpose, however you define it. Purpose looks different in different seasons of life. The driving ambitions of youth or middle age might not resonate in later years, or they might. There's no single correct path. Some find purpose in family relationships, becoming the grandparent or great-grandparent who provides wisdom and unconditional love. Others discover new vocations, paid or volunteer, that utilize their lifetime of skills in meaningful ways. Still others turn inward, focusing on spiritual growth or creative expression that they never had time to fully explore. What matters isn't what purpose looks like, but that there is one, some reason to greet each day with at least a small measure of anticipation rather than dread. Sometimes purpose reveals itself in unexpected ways. The neighbor who becomes the unofficial community historian, the friend who discovers a talent for mediating family disputes, the widower who finds meaning in tending a community garden. Purpose doesn't always announce itself dramatically. Sometimes it sneaks in quietly through the back door. Practical matters matter too. I don't want to pretend that aging gracefully is all philosophical reflection and finding your bliss. There are practical considerations that can't be ignored. Financial security impacts everything. Health challenges require management. Living situations might need to change. These realities can feel overwhelming. Breaking these big challenges into smaller, manageable pieces helps. So does asking for assistance when needed, something many find difficult after a lifetime of independence. I think there's real wisdom in addressing these practical matters head-on rather than avoiding them out of fear or denial. Having conversations about preferences and priorities before crises hit allows for more thoughtful decision-making. The freedom of caring less about some things. One unexpected gift of aging? The liberation that comes from naturally caring less about certain things that once seemed so important. The small social slights, the need to impress others, the fear of looking foolish, these concerns often fade in significance. What a relief to let them go. Energy is more precious now, and spending it on appearances or others' opinions increasingly seems like a poor investment. This isn't about becoming careless or inconsiderate. It's about gaining perspective on what truly matters in a life well lived. In the end, perhaps aging gracefully isn't about fighting the current or surrendering to it. Maybe it's about learning to swim with it, sometimes letting it carry you, other times charting your own course within its flow. It's not always easy. It's rarely perfect. But it can be rich with meaning, connection, and even joy, perhaps a quieter joy than youth offers, but no less genuine for its subtlety. And isn't that, after all, a kind of grace?